Mother Knows Death. Starring Nicole and Jemmy and Maria QK.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mother Knows Death. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Tim Gunn of Project Runway's shocking confession he made this week that he's been celibate for 40 years. Then we have a couple of disturbing true crime stories. The first involves a bully who killed a 12-year-old with a metal water bottle. And the second is a man who was caught on video poisoning his roommates with insect repellent. Then we'll finish up with some unusual poop stories. All that and more on today's episode. Tim Gunn. I love Tim Gunn.
Me too. He recently went on Chelsea Handler's podcast and revealed that he's been celibate for over 40 years.
Yeah, so apparently this happens to people sometimes. Like they're in a relationship that with like who they think is the love of their life and they get seriously burned and then they just like never date again or anything. And I guess in this particular situation, he said that the guy that he was with that he really, really loved had cheated on him and apparently had admitted, like, I've been sleeping with everyone. And it was in the height of the AIDS crisis. And he just was like so scared and so hurt and so burned by this guy that he just, anytime he ever tried to have a relationship again, he just wasn't able to do it. So he just hasn't had sex in 40 years.
It's kind of crazy because I did the math and he's 72 and he said for 43 years he's been celibate. So that means he hasn't had sex since he was 29, which is really young to make that decision. But I mean, he said, quote, "The self-pity then turned into complete unbridled anger because I thought he may have given me a death sentence relating to the AIDS crisis. And then afterwards, he got tested regularly for HIV every 6 months for 10 years. And the results were always negative. But I think that just total broken trust just ruined any future relationship for him. I mean, he was with this guy for 9 years. That's a really long time to be with somebody."
Yeah, and back then HIV was a death sentence. Like it there was no treatment for it and then it would eventually turn into AIDS and then you would die from it. I mean, Freddie Mercury died from it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if being a gay man back then and just like looking at someone like Freddie Mercury going down, you would be like, well, if he can't get treatment and he's dying from it, everyone's going to die from it. It's freaking scary, especially when it wasn't your fault. It was like someone else induced that onto you. So, and I'm sure so many people could speak about that, getting some kind of sexually transmitted infection that might not be as bad as HIV once was, but just in general, like herpes, you have that for the rest of your life, like something like that from a spouse cheating.
Well, yeah, especially because it's like it's not bad enough that the person's cheating on you, but then on top of it, they're just like not being safe and then transferring it to you. That's not fair.
Yeah, it's really messed up. So, I mean, now HIV is definitely not a death sentence and there's such good treatments for it that sometimes the viral load is so undetectable that it wouldn't even show up in a blood test and you wouldn't be able to transmit it to anyone. But certainly I understand his concern from back then. But God, I love him. He's so lovable. It just makes me kind of sad that he doesn't have someone to share that with.
I know. I mean, it's like, who the hell is this person that we need to run out of town now?
Well, I know. I was trying to figure out who it was because he said that he had to work with the person still afterwards.
Yeah, but I think it worked out because he was living in D.C. at the time and he had previously been offered a job at Parsons School of Design that he had turned down to stay with this person. And then the opportunity came back up. So he was like, well, why am I going to sit around here and sulk all day when I can go to live in New York? And then he was a professor there. And then, as we know, he became the lovable mentor on Project Runway. So I think everything worked out for him in the grand scheme of his life. But this is sad. It makes me upset thinking about people being lonely, you know, but maybe he's worked some other things out in his life that's not an issue.
Yeah.
But kind of a shocking admission, for sure.
Yeah, it really is.
All right. LA police have opened a homicide investigation after a 12-year-old girl reportedly died after being struck with a metal water bottle while trying to protect her sister from a bully.
Yeah, this is really scary, obviously. I think that we talked about a couple years ago about a guy that didn't he like kill his grandmom or something with a Stanley cup? It was something like that.
We have had multiple conversations about those cups because they are heavy and they hurt when they're empty, especially when they're filled with liquid.
Oh yeah, they are. They could be used as a weapon. And so this case kind of pisses me off for multiple reasons. Obviously, like, uh, I mean, if you're talking about 12-year-old kids fighting and stuff, a 12-year-old should certainly know better not to throw something that heavy at a kid's head, right?
Yeah.
I mean that they should certainly know better. I don't know if you can really consider charging a 12-year-old with homicide. Like, they're 12 years old. They don't think, and they do dumb shit all the time. You know what? One thing I wanted to talk about, and I didn't even look up the story yet, but I heard today on the New Jersey news that there's this new TikTok challenge that kids are doing, that they're putting like isopropyl alcohol in their mouth and they're trying to literally breathe fire. They set it
my
on
God.
fire. And there's some kid that just went to the hospital, so he has like inhalation burns as well, like lifelong burns for recovering in a burn unit from something like this, right? And and the guy on the radio is just like what, like, we're supposed to be like the kids are supposed to be more educated today than they ever were. Like, what is happening
No,
right now?
they're stupider than they've ever been in their
They
life.
they are. And I mean, it's like, but kids just do dumb shit, okay? So like, and 12 years old is still like, it's an older kid, but it's still a kid that doesn't 100% have their frontal lobe developed, right? So that's one part of the story. So the kid gets brought to the emergency room, and they release the kid and they say like, "Oh, she's fine." So apparently she got sent home initially, and she was having all these headaches and stuff for days, and then she went back to the hospital, and then it was like, oh, she's having a brain bleed and all this stuff. And then everything went down from there. Oh, we have to give her surgery. So if you're having a brain bleed, your brain could swell up, and they have to take portions of your skull off to let it kind of like swell out before it could. In theory, when they take it off, your brain will swell. And then when the swelling goes down, they could put the pieces of your skull cap back on. So it's a craniotomy, it's called. So they did that, and like, unfortunately the damage was too bad, and she ended up dying from it. So two parts is like, you're pissed off about the kid, but I'm also just kind of like, there's absolutely no reason that a child had a significant head injury, and I don't know if it's between the hospital or the family or whatever, like having a headache after having something like that happen and not being monitored. Like, there's absolutely no reason that this kid is dead right now, especially if she went to the hospital right after she was injured.
Yeah, I mean, there just seems like there was negligence on behalf of the hospital. And, like, I guess as far as
You can't say that, because I don't know what happened. Like, because if she did go to the hospital right afterwards, if they did scan her, they might not have scanned her because they might not have thought there was an implication for it. I would say that was negligent, but they might have scanned her and there might have been nothing there, and they might have said like, if she develops any symptoms like nausea, throwing up, severe headache, bring her right back. Like, there was some kind of a problem between either the hospital just being negligent or the family being negligent. Something happened, because there shouldn't have been days that she was going by complaining of a severe headache and dying from something like this.
Yeah, and I guess as far as the homicide investigation's gonna go, I mean, to your point, like, how are you gonna charge a 12-year-old with throwing a water bottle? But then I guess if they're saying they're alleging that this was a bullying incident, so I guess they're gonna look into the history there and see if it was purely just like a kid being dumb or a
No, I
truly
mean,
malicious intent.
the kid wasn't being dumb. I think the kid was a bully and was trying to hurt her. I think that the kid definitely needs to go to some kind of juvenile detention place or something like that.
If that's what happened, and that's true, because
Yeah.
that's what's alleged right now.
Yeah, well, that's exactly. But they're saying that she was a bully. She was protecting her sister, and she maliciously was trying to hit the kid with it. But so that's one thing. And even if you die a week later after you have an injury like that, like, it's a homicide if the person ends up dying as a result. I just, like, that part of it just upsets me and is annoying in itself. But the whole thing with the hospital is, or the parent, whatever it was in between, that this kid just like had this internal brain bleed without being monitored. I just don't understand how that happened.
Yeah. All right. This couple became mysteriously ill, and after getting tests done, the doctor told them their symptoms were those of poisoning victims. So they happened to have this hidden camera in their kitchen, and when they looked through the footage, they saw their roommate spraying all their food with bug spray.
Yeah, I mean, geez, that's so scary, right?
Yes.
I want to get cameras in my house, I think. There's all this stuff that we talk about. I'm just kind of like, I feel like it might, I don't know. Like, I
Who's
just
in
would.
your house but me? Like,
Exactly, for you. Because sometimes I don't feel good after you leave my house and I think you're trying to kill me.
I will not have this slander.
Sue me for $5 million.
10.
All right, 10, yeah.
That's the
Just
going rate.
just tack it on. I have like 1,000, 100 million in my bank account, so just like take it all.
You know
All
why
right.
you don't feel good? Because on Friday I was like, do you want to go to the bakery and then we eat cookies and then we go to Wawa and get like all junk food and that's what we eat for lunch. That's why you don't feel good.
I would have been fine with actual food, but you're pregnant, so I have to deal with whatever you want to eat. So I had cookies for lunch.
Excuses.
All right. Anyway, so they put up, so all right, so 2 people going to the hospital saying that they're having similar symptoms, don't feel good, get blood work done, and both have elevated liver enzymes and dysfunctional liver tests. So the doctors are like, okay, this is, I feel like if it was one person going, it might have not have been as easy to detect, because you could have elevated liver enzymes for anything. So it's like, if one person goes and is like, I feel feeling nauseous, they're not going to be like, you're getting poisoned, I'm sure. I think it was that they both went at the same time with the same symptoms and had the same similar blood work, that they were like, oh, this is like, you're being exposed to something. This is a little weird. Because so when they put up the cameras and they figured out that they were spraying Raid insect repellent on the stuff, the guy was wearing a gas mask and spraying their fruits and vegetables. Like, what a psycho. That's like psychotic, actually.
And my question is, they were saying like they all had their individual sections of the house, right? But they shared the kitchen. So like, did this guy not keep his food in the kitchen? Because they were saying that the footage was from like some time ago. It wasn't even immediate.
I don't know, but I guess the thing is, like, they go to the hospital and the guy's like, the doctor's just like, you might be getting poisoned. Because I'm sure there was more to the story. Like, just based upon going to the hospital with nausea, confusion, and elevated liver enzymes, that the doctor wouldn't jump to the conclusion that a person was getting poisoned.
Well, I don't know if these people brought this up to the doctor, but this roommate also allegedly broke in their room, cut up their clothes, stole medication, IDs, and more.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure they had to say to the doctor, like, listen, we think something's going on because we started getting sick and this guy lives with us. There was like more information coming to the doctor. So the doctor was probably like, well, with these symptoms, it's possible that someone is putting something into your food. Because it's just so vague that I just don't think a doctor would just come out and say that. Because, for example, like, this particular chemical that is inside of the Raid spray, right? That's on a typical blood test. Like, if I go to the hospital, that won't show up. That would have to be a very specific toxicology test done for that specific chemical. The only thing that's going to come up is elevated liver enzymes, which, like, people who drink alcohol, that, like, it's just, it's so non-specific. It has to be that they were, like, saying that they thought they were living with someone that was shady.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what the previous offense is, why they couldn't kick this person out. I guess it's kind of hard to kick somebody out of your house. But, like, and you've never really lived with a roommate except me, who's the perfect roommate, right? So, like, otherwise, I mean, you have Gabe and the kids now, but you never had, like, a roommate that you didn't really know. Like, I'm really curious. I want people to leave, like, write us emails or leave comments with their roommate stories. Like, I remember a couple of times, like, when I was in college, like, one time I was living with these people and, like, I, like, went away for the weekend and I came back and there was, like, dog hair all in my bed. And I was like, what the hell is this? And like they were like, "Oh yeah, like our friend slept here with their dog in your bed." And I'm like, "No, nobody goes in my room. I don't even understand why that was okay." And then they were just like stealing like my tampons and like stuff out of my room. So I had to start setting booby traps every time I left to see if my door got opened or not.
Yeah, I would not be into that. But some people, like, for whatever reason, they have to do it. And it's just scary because, especially if you're with somebody, I don't know, like, I feel like if you're living with someone, like, you don't want to mess with someone in that situation because they could really, like, mess with you when they're in your personal items.
Well, then I had a roommate who faked a pregnancy and said she didn't have rent money because she had to get an abortion, totally made it up, and then was coming in the house and stealing stuff too. And I mean, that was really hard to get her out of that house, but she kind of left willingly, thank God. But like these are not even like big problems. Like think about things like this or other issues people have. So I'm just curious what our listeners have gone through.
I am
Their
too.
roommates, because people are freaks. Why can't we just respect each other's faces and like live together? It's so weird. But also what's weird, so they said authorities responded to the home, found the roommate barricaded inside, resulting in an hours-long standoff, and then he got charged with a misdemeanor and got released. Don't you think this would be considered like attempted murder?
Well, this is the thing though, like, they have to prove that. So, like I was saying, they're going to have to take their blood and see if they could do a toxicology test to prove that that exact chemical that they see in that video is in their system and can correlate it with the symptoms that they're having. I mean, I would think that just spraying someone else's food should be able to get you into trouble, but to act like that would be like an attempted murder situation. Like, they need to prove that with the toxicology.
But what if the guy's saying, like, I just thought there was cockroaches and I was just spraying the counter?
I just so happen to have a gas mask in my house. And
it's like that idiot
and rubber
DoorDash
gloves.
driver that said she was spraying a pepper spray on a spider, but she sprayed it all
Yeah,
over
that
those
was
people's
weird.
order. And they were like, yeah, it's like cold outside. There's not spiders outside. Idiot. Whatever. This episode is brought to you by The Gross Room.
Guys, don't forget, every single week in The Gross Room, we have an additional episode that is Mother Knows Death-ish. It's not exactly set up like this. We talk about a lot of stories, though. Sometimes we have like way more stories than we have in a normal episode of Mother Knows Death, but we go over them quick. A lot of it is, so it is a YouTube live, so it has audio and video. So a lot of it is us showing pictures and videos of things, maybe viral videos of the week or something like that, and just talking about it. And we go over medical cases, of course, that are related to gross room material and Mother Knows Death material, but we also just, sometimes we just have like a random conspiracy and shit talking session on certain people. Like, probably half of the dresses that we saw at the awards this week for sure are going to make it on there. Just things like that. So it's really fun, and it's just really casual, and everybody could join in, which is the best part, and comment. So check that out every week in The Gross Room.
Head over to thegrossroom.com now to sign up.
All right. This is really important thing for us to discuss: poop-gasms.
All right, so somebody on X posted a screenshot from Reddit of a person asking if their poop could possibly be hitting their G-spot. They said, whenever I need to take a poop and I'm busy on a game, I will postpone the pooping by holding my leg under my ass. This feels insanely good for some reason, and I don't know why I get pleasure from holding in poop. Is the poop being held at my prostate making it feel good, or am I just weird? What are your thoughts?
I think that it's possible that it is making it feel good. I mean, men have the prostate, and we know that that's like their internal G-spot, so to speak. So I think that it's totally possible. I mean, if it's poop or it's a penis or it's a dildo, like, they all are pushing on the same area, right? So I would think that it is doing that. It's funny because I found this, I was just like looking up this article to see if other people were talking about this, because apparently it's a thing. So there was this website, this was back from 2014, a website called straight.com. I don't know exactly what it was, but the title was Poop-Induced Orgasms Are More Common Than You Think. And this woman on there was saying that after she pooped, she would pull up her pants and the crotch would press against her vulva and it would make her have like a mini orgasm. And she said that it was definitely only after she pooped. So it's happening to men and women. And it's the same exact thing. Like the rectum is filling up and it just depends on how your nerves are organized down there and like where your pleasure centers are, but it's totally possible.
Yes, do whatever you gotta.
This Reddit thread though, I'm thinking of like a grown adult like sitting on the floor playing video games, like sitting on his like feet to hold in his like I'm just like what?
Just don't admit what you do in private, you know?
There's just some things that the name of I think I wrote down the Reddit thread is called No Stupid Questions, which I kind of love. That I kind of want to go on there and see what the other stupid questions are because that one was pretty good. So maybe we'll come back with some next week.
My personal favorite, and we've had a couple stories about it on here, is Am I the Asshole?
Oh, yeah. That one's good. That one's really good because sometimes you read it and you're just like, no, like you definitely are or you definitely aren't. So, yeah.
Totally. And speaking of poop, free solo climber Alex Honnold is revealing what he has to do if he has to poop during a climb.
That was kind of an amazing. I don't know do you know whose podcast he was on? He was on some podcast and the guy, I saw a clip from it and the guy just asked him like, well, what do you do when you have to poop? And it's like something like I never even thought of actually because he's up there like all day climbing up the side of a mountain like this. Or a building. I mean, the building was pretty quick. I watched the whole entire thing on TV live.
Yeah, it was like under an hour and a half.
But some of these climbs that he does are for multiple hours a day. So he was saying that there's been times where he would just hang off of the side of the cliff and just like pull down his pants just enough and like poop right there, like hanging off the side of a cliff.
But not if another climber is below him.
I mean, think about that. Like, I know that they prepare themselves so they don't eat a lot beforehand and, you know, you make sure you empty your bowels beforehand. But like sometimes, like, what if you had some kind of virus and all of a sudden it kicked in and you had like massive diarrhea or something? Like, I'm sure something like that has happened.
I just can't fathom doing it. But he said when it happens, it happens. It's better than pooping your pants.
And so I guess that there's like, when climbers have like actual ropes and stuff, they have like things attached to their body like poop tubes. I know it's really gross, but
what is appealing about this? You have to be outside, A, which we know I'm against, and then B, you have to poop in the air hanging like hundreds of feet above the ground. What if you don't know a climber has started on the bottom because you're so high up and then you poop on their head anyway?
There's like flying turds coming down at you. We did talk about that though a couple years ago on this show about Mount Everest, how they had such a big poop problem because you never really think like, oh yeah, people have to poop up there too. Yeah, remember that there was like they were saying that there were like tons and like actual tons of poop up there from people pooping,
and there's also just like dead bodies up there because
right?
They can't recover them.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound pleasurable. I don't understand the appeal of it at all.
I think that I could see the appeal. Like if there's something that only a handful of people have ever done in the history of ever, like I see what the appeal is to want to do that.
Do you think he could free solo Mount Everest?
Of course. He could do anything. He's like the strongest athlete in the world as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
He's kind of a weirdo, but I think he's like an exceptional human being. Like he really is. He's like a specimen of a human. The strength that he has is, and you look at him and you like if you just saw that guy, you wouldn't be like, oh, this guy is like one of the strongest people in the world. I mean, he is. He's like superhuman.
He just looks like a hiking nerd, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't think about his ability, which is really incredible at the end of the day.
Yeah, he's really an incredible person.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you loved that to wrap up the week. Some fresh poop stories.
See, everybody poops. It's a good thing. You know how they say like even famous people put their pants on one leg at a time or something like that. It's just like Alex poops.
I hope somebody gets me that book. That's a good kids book. Everyone poops.
Yeah, it is a good one.
Yeah. All right, put it out there so maybe somebody will do it.
Oh,
All right,
you're gonna get 20 copies of it.
I know this is why, like, we talked about this. Like, I kind of don't like the concept of, like, don't bring a card, bring a book to the shower, right? Because it's like, first of all, a card can be like $2 to $5. A book is like $10 to $20. That's just like dick to ask people to
I'm
do.
anti-card too.
Yeah, I
Unless
don't
it's
need.
really good, like a really good one. But like if you're just going to the like Target to get a card, I just get a piece of paper and fold it in half and like, oh, it's from me. Like, why
I
do you need a card?
I started well, I have a Cricut, so like I started just printing out gift tags and tying them on the bag.
Yeah.
Nobody wants the card. Like, I don't know. If
Sometimes
it's
a card could be really good if it's like very clever and funny, but usually you have to order them online or something. Like they don't have them at the store.
if it's a good card, I get it. Or me and Ricky write cards to each other for like Valentine's Day or anniversary and stuff like that I keep aside. But like otherwise, I just don't want a rando card. And then the book thing is like, not only is it like an expensive add-on to already a gift somebody has to get you, but then people like write in the book from whoever bought it, and then you have 5 of the same book, and then because people wrote in them, you can't get rid of the extra copies. It's like such a weird concept.
Yeah. I just thought that I have in the basement like a whole entire bag full of books, like they're old books
Okay,
that I
well,
didn't get rid of.
I'll take them if you aren't keeping on or holding
Well,
on to them for
I
sentimental
am holding
reasons.
on to them for sentimental reasons, but you could have them and then give them back.
Make sure you write in all of them. Okay, guys, our event at the Center for Forensic Science Research and Education is coming up on April 10th and 11th. Don't forget, it is going to be our last show, not forever, but for a while because of the baby. So definitely don't want to miss out on that. It's in Horsham, Pennsylvania, which is right outside of Philly. And if you are a grocery member, you're going to get a pretty hefty discount.
Yeah,
So,
and it's a good place. It's a really awesome place, and you get to tour the center, which is really cool to see what's going on really behind the scenes with forensics and the research. And you could just it's really good because you could just pull up in your car. It's not like going to the city and having to find a spot. It's right near the highway, like it's easy to get to.
yeah, it's pretty ideal all around. So please head over to Apple or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have stories for us, please submit them to stories@motherknowsdeath.com.
Have a good weekend, guys. Thank you for listening to Mother Knows Death. As a reminder, my training is as a pathologist assistant. I have a master's level education and specialize in anatomy and pathology education. I am not a doctor and I have not diagnosed or treated anyone, dead or alive, without the assistance of a licensed medical doctor. This show, my website, and social media accounts are designed to educate and inform people based on my experience working in pathology so they can make healthier decisions regarding their life and well-being. Always remember that science is changing every day and the opinions expressed in this episode are based on my knowledge of those subjects at the time of publication. If you are having a medical problem, have a medical question, or are having a medical emergency, please contact your physician or visit an urgent care center, emergency room, or hospital. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Mother Knows Death on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get podcasts. Thanks.